Okay, everybody, this is Kelly Cat Tap Talks, and guess who I have on my show today? Today we have Denise. She's gonna tell her story about the savor of our city. So go ahead, Denise, tell your story.
Hey, Callie, thank you very much for having me on your show. So, I wear a lot of different titles as the founder, and then I am also the CFO, which stands for Chief Foodie Officer, and I'm also the CWO, Chief Wino, of Savor Our City. Obviously, I like to play around with titles almost as much as I like to play around with creating interesting experiences for groups. So, Savor Our City is all about bringing groups together and curating interactive and engaging experiences that center around food, wine, and cocktails. So basically, how we accomplish that is through our food tours, our cooking classes, our scavenger hunts. We do mixology classes, and I am a wine educator, and I do very unique wine tastings and wine etiquette. Most of our clients are corporate groups that are either local companies who book us for team building, client networking and appreciation. We partner with not only local restaurants, but we work with private chefs and caterers. We're mobile. We can go to people's homes or offices as well. And we do work with convention groups. It's a big part of our business.
Okay.
So we work side by side with a classification of businesses called destination management companies, or DMCs. And we're typically added on as a part of their overall program for companies coming into town for a national or global conference. So if they're staying in town at a hotel for multiple days, they typically want to get out and get a taste of the city. So we can accomplish that for them.
Oh, that's cool. So let's see here. What got you inspired?
So, what got me inspired was prior to starting Savor Our
Mm-hmm.
City, I was the marketing manager for the largest property owner in downtown Boca Raton. I discovered soon after coming on board that they had over 100 restaurants in their portfolio, all mom and pops at any given time. So, I really had to become creative in figuring out ways that would drive traffic to the restaurants. Putting butts in seats, as they say. So I started coming up with different ideas, doing like tasting menus. I'd work with the chefs and the owners of the restaurants. They turned into be very popular, almost like a supper club. Where people would sign up and they would get a full tasting menu with a glass of wine, a beer, or a cocktail, and the price point was like really ridiculous. It was like $30, $40, and people really loved it. They loved meeting new people, the great value, the restaurants appreciated being introduced to new patrons. So this was something that I did on a regular and would just change it every month to a different restaurant. Created a 12-week downtown Boca wine series, and we did so many other things. But all of these events, many of them were taking place after working hours. So I was literally adding more to my plate,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. And I wasn't getting any extra time off or compensation, but I was building quite a following. And so I decided to just take the leap and said, let me try doing this on my own. And I started in the very first city, Delray Beach. I started with a food
Mm-hmm.
tour. I called it Taste Atlantic Avenue. And it was at that time, it was a public tour. Anybody could purchase a ticket to it. And it was during lunch. So again, I really love the idea of bringing people together and creating the experience. I take them to several different restaurants. Some were hidden gems, some were very popular restaurants. We got locals, we got visitors. Um, and so that was something that we ran as a public tour for 3 years before I pivoted and decided to just make it exclusively private tours, and really focusing more, going more in the direction of
Hmm.
corporate groups has really been beneficial to the brand and scaling as well. So moving from one tour in one city, we actually now cover, we're nationwide. And so in Florida, where we're based in, I'm based in Boca Raton, South Florida. We do cover Miami all the way to Palm Beach. Then we jump up to Central Florida. We do a lot in Orlando and Tampa. And then we are in other select cities in other states, up in New England, and we're in New York and Boston. We're growing in DC right now. We have a new some new tours coming up in Nashville. We're in Denver,
It sounds like
so
you're everywhere.
we're
People
quite
just
busy.
love it.
Yeah, growing.
You love it. So do you do
Yes,
a lot of pairing with the
I do.
wine?
So when we do get requests, so with wine, that's actually something I'm very passionate about. For 14 years, I have partnered with an organization called Wines for Humanity.
Hmm.
And they are in about 20 different states, 22 or so, and they are growing as well. But they are a for-profit company, even though they have the word humanity in their name. But they partner with local nonprofit and charitable organizations to help them raise funds. And we do so by introducing wines that are exclusive to the Wines for Humanity collection, and through our unique wine tasting presentations. So the wines, when I'm doing a wine presentation, the wines, they are exclusive to Wines for Humanity, meaning they cannot be purchased in any local wine
Really?
store or restaurant. Yes, so the founder, his name is Anton Steinhardt. He's from Germany originally, and he was a wine educator, traveled all over the world educating people in fine wines. And when he came over to the United States many years ago, he passed through Ellis Island, as many immigrants back then did, and he just was shocked at the amount of homelessness that he encountered. So he wanted to come up with a way he can use his knowledge and passion for wine for helping those who are less fortunate. So he created Wines for Humanity with that purpose in mind. So the core mission of the company is to help in the prevention of homelessness for families with
Hmm.
children. But he realizes there are so many wonderful worthy causes out there that he's opened it up to pretty much any. And so in the 16 years the company has been around, they have raised approximately $10 million for charity. And
It's
so
amazing.
it is my way of giving back, and the wine tastings that I do are quite unique. I am told repeatedly by people who attend them that they learn more in the first 5 minutes of what I share than they have in any other wine tasting. And I'm not a sommelier. I am a wine advisor, a wine educator, and I actually focus less on the wine and more on the useful, practical tips and wine etiquette. So during our wine tastings, we'll cover things like how to hold a wine glass properly, the 5 S's of wine tasting. What are the best temperatures to serve
Wow.
wines? I provide them some examples of some of the better food and wine pairings. And I always do some fun trivia, and then I always do a little contest with a prize at the end. So it's just something that, I'm very passionate about, educating people, but doing so in a way that people really, it appeals to everybody, from those that are just getting
Hmm.
started in their wine journey to those that have extensive wine collections, wine connoisseurs, and everyone in between.
Yeah, I never knew that you had to hold a wine a certain way. I knew about the temperature, but, yeah.
Yep, the wine glass, 'cause you don't want to you don't want to warm the glass up by holding it on the bulb. You don't want to hold it underneath. It's not brandy, it's not a snifter glass. So these are things that, we teach the people when we go through the wine tastings. And then if they want to purchase any of the wines after tasting them or seeing what wines we have from our list, they may do so, and then we donate a portion of every wine bottle that is ordered to a designated charity or nonprofit. So the host of the wine tasting can select
Mhm.
that. We donate our wine tasting certificates as well to charities that are hosting gala events that are having like a silent auction. So if somebody is listening and they have a charity event that is coming up, they can certainly reach out to me. I'm not sure how we tell the people how to find us, but I can get a wine tasting certificate out if they are in a state that we are licensed to be in.
Yeah, you can talk about it right now, and I usually follow up at the end. If you have a website,
Okay.
you can talk about it now, and then I'll
Yep.
reiterate it again.
Yep, Savor Our City. It's the American way of spelling savor, so it's SAVOR, savorourcity.com. And they can contact me directly at Denise at savorourcity.com or follow a link on the website.
All right. So, you got like flavors of how do you say it? Baca, flavors of baca, boca,
Boca? Oh,
boca.
say, savor. Yeah, it's actually Savor
Mm-hmm.
Boca. Yep. Savor Boca is a centennial celebration that we are producing. My company, Savor Our City, is producing as part of our city's centennial festivities. They've turned 100 years this year, and our event is taking place on December 6th. One delicious day, two unforgettable events. So in downtown Boca in Meisner Park, we're going to kick off the morning with a scavenger hunt. It'll be a photo scavenger hunt. So we're encouraging groups of friends and colleagues to form teams. And the teams are going to be teams of 6 to 8 people. They're going to compete for great prizes and bragging rights. And we're going to incorporate some of the history of the city into the clues. So there'll be uh, prizes for the winners. And then we're in the afternoon, we're going to be having a centennial tasting tour where we're going to be printing a commemorative passport. It'll be a tasting passport, and the general admission tickets. It's going to be a self-guided tour where they'll have 3 hours to take their little passport around to like 13 different restaurants and specialty shops, get their
Stamp.
passport stamped, have a little signature bite, and we're doing a cocktails through the decades theme. So they'll also pick up a little sample of a cocktail that's relevant to a particular decade from the 1920s to the 2020s. So it'll be real fun. And so people can purchase tickets separately, or we're offering a combo pack to do both, and they'll be able to save. So the scavenger hunt is $35, and the tasting self-guided tasting tour is $75, but the combo pack will be $100 for both, and that'll be $100 for 100 years. And then the VIP will be available for $150, and they're going to have elevated tastings with full-size cocktails with a guide with someone like myself, a guided tour to 4 premium restaurants.
Wow. And this is your first year doing it,
Oh,
or have
and
you
what?
been doing this?
Yeah, and And I wanted to mention a portion of the proceeds from every ticket sold is going to benefit Brain Bowl. Bowl helps support Alzheimer's and dementia research. So that's something that we're, again, bringing the community
Mhm.
together, supporting worthwhile causes, and creating wonderful experience for all of those in our community. Um, I'm sorry, what did you just ask me?
No, I just like it's like this is not your first event doing this, right?
Oh, okay. So we typically don't do public events, community events. Our events are typically, as I said, private. They're private groups, either corporate groups booking us, or groups of friends or family booking something for, girls' night out or birthday party or bachelorette. But mostly they're all private. So occasionally we come out of the of our shell and we do something on a larger scale, open to the public, on which we will sell tickets. So this is, something that we are offering the community to come in and purchase a ticket. So Savor Boca, and that's the website is savorboca.com for that. If they go to Savor Our City, there's a link there to take them to the event page. But this is a centennial celebration. It's just a one-time, one-day event that's bringing our community together to celebrate our great city, its history, and support a worthy cause.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. Somebody asked me to put something like that, I'll be like, let me it'll take me a minute, but yeah, it sounds like you did this overnight and you're an expert. Wow.
Oh, yeah, no, no, it's not been overnight, and it's definitely a labor of love, because for someone who does a little bit more smaller, events, to say, yeah, let's go ahead and do this, real big, event, there's, a lot of work that goes into that. And we are still accepting
Mhm.
sponsors who want to get involved, sponsoring our swag bags, for instance, or we have community businesses that want to put something inside the bag, or we have a presenting sponsor available. So yeah, there's still some time to get involved with that. We're also happy to accept some volunteers that want to get involved and help the event out. The scavenger hunt is going to have, we're going to have a variety of needs with that. So lots of
Yeah,
things. So we're just a little over 2 months away.
yeah, you got a
So
lot. I bet you as the
excited.
as the days progress into December 6th, you'll be like getting a little more nervous. But hopefully after this podcast you have enough people, you sell out and you get enough collaboration. And
That would be great, Callie. I'd love to see
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
of
would love to
interest
see you
after this.
flourish.
Yeah.
But how do you
So you're a
I'm a
beer
beer
you're a
connoisseur.
beer lady. So we actually, it's interesting because we do brewery tours. And one thing that we do is we call it Highway to Hops.
Really?
We do a brewery tour. It's popular in Orlando. Again, mostly corporate groups. They'll book us, and we'll have depends on the size of the group. We could do one bus load. We've done one that was 3 bus loads, where we started each bus at a different brewery, and then they go around on a
Really?
rotation, and they get time with, yep, with the brewers, and they get time. Some of them have a behind the scenes, some of them are, they're doing Q&A with them. So it's good. And in Miami, in Wynwood, which is has a lot of craft breweries, we have one that's by foot. We take them doing a brewery tour by foot. We've done them in New England. So it just depends on where the people are. And but yeah, so that's that. I'm not a huge lover of beer, but I love
Yeah, the
sours. I
sour.
do love
What's your favorite
sours.
sour?
Yeah. If I've had them where we've done like passion fruit, I've enjoyed that one a lot. Um, just mostly the citrus ones. Even, and then there is a beer, a Schaffenhofer. It's a
Mm,
German beer. It has a taste of grapefruit. Schaffenhofer, I think it's called. Yeah, it's because we go to a beer garden in Boca, and that's has one of we do little beer tastings there. So that's one I do enjoy.
Excuse me. I think I know what you're talking about because I just got back from Germany. So I did the Belgian Beer Festival there.
Okay.
So yeah, they got some really good beers
Oh,
there.
cool, cool.
And speaking of sours,
I'm
I'm not
sure.
really a sour person, but I do some beer tradings, and this individual sent me some beers and said, "Try this one," and I tried it, and
Hmm.
it took me back to old school, where you used to take your Jolly Ranchers and drop them in the water and thought you was cool, and you would drink it. It tasted just like that. It was on point. It wasn't.
I
It,
never heard, I never
yeah,
heard that. I never heard
but you
that at
drop your,
all.
Jolly Ranchers and put them in the water and watch.
I know what a Jolly Rancher is, but I never heard of dropping a Jolly Rancher in
Yeah, when you're
water.
a little kid, you drop it and then you taste the flavors, right? And then the water changes colors. But this beer was on point. The brewery did a really good job. So, but anyway,
That's
yeah. So,
awesome.
how do you select the restaurants and partners for this a big event that's going on? How do you do your selection on that?
Oh, well, for this
Mm,
particular event, it's easy because it's all contained in a an area called pretty much Meisner Park, central in our downtown area. It's a very walkable. It's like a big monopoly board. So you have like a park down the middle, Plaza Real, which has won an award back in 2010 with the American Planning Association as one of the great American spaces. But all around it is Meisner Park is a place that you can live, work, eat, shop, play. It's a multi-use
mm-hmm.
venue, and so there's tons of great restaurants located in Meisner Park and the adjacent Meisner Plaza, which is right next to it. So I've been doing our food tours for 11 years in this particular area. Anyway, so I have already established relationships with most of the businesses, most of the restaurants. So when I, started to get behind this project and put it together, just reaching out to, some of the restaurant partners to let them know what we're doing, they hopped on board to support that as well.
Wow. So, what is your secret sauce? You talked about corporations. Uh, they go on bus tours for breweries or do food pairing. What's your secret sauce to convince corporations with the team building for your traditional event?
So my secret sauce is I don't offer anything that's cookie cutter.
Okay.
Okay, so the fact is that if you're going to my website, you're a meeting or event planner, you're coming into town, you're basically wanting to you're tasked with something to do before, the meetings or in between, and you're new to the city. Basically, finding me, I'm able to, work with you to accomplish the time frame that you need to do. So it's not like they have to fit into what time I have a tour that's leaving. I customize everything, so I will be able to accommodate when they want to do this, what time, what people. I would try to work with the budgets that they have. If anyone's celebrating anything special, I incorporate
Mhm.
that. If they have any food allergies or dietary restrictions, I incorporate that. If it's something that's they want to do a scavenger hunt, I incorporate some of the company's core values, catchphrases, slogans, mottos into the clues. So we offer this customization that is really the sum of the secret sauce. Plus, every food tour or experience that we create, we are producing a keepsake video to commemorate
Mhm.
that experience.
Wow.
So we will produce that and turn it back to them within 3 business days of the completion of their event. So people find that to be really unique and appreciate that as well.
That sounds unique. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So, recognition and growth. Let's talk about you were named the best event planner in the year of 2024. Best out of Florida award. Tell us about that. Tell us when you found out. Take us through the motions of that excitement, and congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. We actually now are
Wow.
2025 was just announced. Yes, I actually have the plaque right over here. So it's Best of Florida. It's the Best of Florida, and in the category of event planner 2024, 2025. Yeah, myself and my team, we are just ecstatic to have been recognized. We're a small company, but we definitely take every single, suggestion for how we can improve, and we try to you know, deliver, under promise, over deliver. We try to always exceed people's expectations. And I think one of the things that I'm most proud about, if somebody's trying to reach the company, I am very still accessible. We are getting back to people, like, I would say not even 24 hours, within 12 hours. They're hearing back from us. We're very prompt at, returning calls and communicating. We're getting, repeat customers, 5-star reviews.
Wow.
So,
That's awesome.
we're really proud of the work that we're doing, and obviously we're doing something right. People are enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah, that sounds like it. What challenges have you faced scaling your footprint nationally? Have you stayed grounded in your mission? Have you had any challenges?
Yeah, so I have bootstrapped the business so far. I haven't taken on any investors or co-founders. I basically have just funded the business myself, and just from the growth that, revenue that's coming in, started to grow in different cities based on where we have some strategic partners. So as we continue to deepen these partnerships, we're getting more interest in growing a little faster and a little bit more. And, you know, we've been so far, in 11 years, we've been getting most of our business organically, as well as through our direct DMC partners, without really spending money advertising. So this is really at a critical time right now, that in order to sustain this growth and continue, we are actually about ready to, seek some funding, taking on some investors to be able to, continue to grow. So we'd have somebody who will be really in charge of, opening up new cities. That entails, what I'm doing pretty much mostly, on my own right now. So having a more expanse, more team to be able to do the opening up, everything that it entails in opening up a city, from vetting the restaurants, and the suppliers, and finding and training tour guides and staff in every city. But right now we're able to do so with, a few months advance notice if there's a specific city. So for instance, I work with a destination management company here in South Florida. They were asked by their client to go to Nashville, and they wanted to bring me along and create the tours for that program. So we were able to do so, and our first one in Nashville is coming up in January. So we have a singer-songwriter experience, where the company is going to have a team building where they're going to actually create a song with the
Wow.
songwriter, incorporating some of the lyrics. The lyrics will be some things related to the company. We're doing a cooking class there, and we're also doing a painting party inside a distillery. So, this is what I'm most passionate about, and what I love is building out the experiences in the different cities. So but the challenge is, as I'm doing that, fielding new proposals and writing and operating current existing programs too. So I think the biggest challenge is needing some additional funding to be able to do it most efficiently
Okay.
and continue to grow.
Okay. Well, your passion is going to get you where you're at because you won 2 awards. You've been in business for 11 years, and you started this from the ground up. So that's a lot of props right there. So if you can
Thank you, girl.
design
I
a
appreciate it.
dream event anywhere in the world, what would it look like, and who would you invite to the table?
Oh, that's funny. Um, well, I got my start in hospitality, fresh out of college, working on board cruise ships for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line.
I did one of
And
those.
I am a You did that? I am 100% sure that that experience planted the seed for what would eventually become my business. I was always fascinated by the different cultures and the different cuisines. And so I was traveling. I got to travel around the world. And so, and meeting people from around the world. So something that I would create would certainly be centered around a global experience. We do have there's a venue in South Florida that is bringing global tastings in one night. It's Elysium, it's called immersive dining. And they're doing like a taste of Europe where you have a different course from it could be 6 different
Hmm.
countries, each course. And there's a round table and they're showing scenes on the table and then in a round room, the wall around the wall, and then they have a narrator that comes on and talks about the country that you're visiting. So I'm very captivated by that type of experience. So I was hoping to have maybe a cruise line that was interested in coming on board for the Savor Boca centennial celebration as a sponsor and do a activation like the night before or sometime the week before the event, inviting some VIPs to attend this let's say pre-cruise pre-centennial event to come on and be a part of this global experience, tasting
Wow.
experience.
Have you contacted Royal Caribbean? Because I've done one cruise with them, and I actually liked it. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So I'm still trying to reach the key people at various cruise lines. So if you have anyone listening here
yeah,
from a cruise line, yes, have them reach
yeah.
out.
So technically, that'll be a win-win because then you got somebody from Royal Caribbean seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
destinations that
and
they
then people will
visit
see,
are
and then people will
represented
want to
there,
come.
and the
Yeah,
food component. I think it's a winner. That would be my ideal situation, is to put that piece
yeah.
together that ties into the
No,
centennial. Yeah.
I think you got this. You got this. Yeah.
Thank you.
As we wind down, what advice would you give to other founders, especially women, who want to build movements through creativity, culture, and connection?
So I would say that always leading with your passion. Obviously, you can tell how much passion I have about my business. So staying authentic,
Mhm.
building relationships. This is the year that I have put myself in different the right rooms. It's been about empowering women. This is the year I have really been joining different groups that are, C-level powerful women. It's all about empowering and lifting other women and business owners. And I think that just making these type of connections and building these relationships and supporting each other is the way to forge, ahead. in any business.
Wow. And that is a great way to wrap it up. So, again, Denise, thank you for being on the show. But how do people get a hold of you again? What is your website again?
Thank you. Thank you, Callie, again. It's really a pleasure being on and talking with you. Yes, our website for Savor Our City is Savor, SAVOROURCITY.com, Savor Our City. And then the Centennial event has its own event page, which is just simply savorboca.com. And that's SAVOR, B as in boy, O, C as in Charlie, A, savorboca.com.
All right. Thank you.
So hopefully you have time on your calendar. You'll come on out and you'll be my guest.